I'm gonna teach you every single thing I know about chords. You're probably wondering, Riley, Mr. Beats, what do you know about chords? Well, let me tell you, I've got a friend that's a chord. I've also made chords in a song before, so I think I know what I'm talking about, just a little bit. First things first, you need to know that chords are made up of intervals. So when you have 3 notes with space like this, that's a major third. And when you have 2 notes with space like this, that's a minor third. And basic triads are just made up by stacking these major and minor thirds. So a minor triad is just a major third stacked on top of a minor third, and a major chord is the same thing but in reverse. So this. And fun fact, when you have a minor third on top of a minor third, that's a diminished chord, and it's gonna sound dirty and dissonant. Good for building suspense, or tension, whatever you wanna call it. That's like the basic chord. And the crazy thing too is you can just keep stacking these minor and major third intervals, and you'll get more and more complex chords. So here we're going up to the 9th and the 7th of the scale, so this is now a 9th chord. Oh, it kind of sounds jazzy. That's a nice chord, low key. Now, these are just like the basic chord things. You're probably wondering, how do I actually turn this into a chord progression? What I highly recommend people do is they start out with just their bass notes, because that's gonna be the base of your chord, the base of how your chord sounds. We don't have the harmony yet, but it's gonna give you the general idea. So let's just turn this into some triads. And so we got a major chord, and a major chord. But we got this minor chord at the beginning. Not bad. But like I said, we can make this more complex. So this could be a 9th chord. But right after the 9th chord, this kind of sounds a little empty, a little basic. So you wanna sauce it up. And one rule of thumb for chords is you want to keep some of your notes in common, or at least close together. And this is going to keep your chords from sounding like they're just jumping all over the place. So we can pitch this up an octave, put what would be the 7th, because this F here is the 7th, bring that down. We can maybe make this into a chord. Nice. Bring these up too. So this chord here, this major 6th, it's kind of far off from the rest of the chords. So I'm gonna take these bottom 2 notes and just bam, bring them up an octave. We know that this is the base of our chord. So right here would be the 7th, and we can introduce a little bit of dissonance here to build a little tension in our harmony that will resolve back at the first chord. And the beautiful thing too is this note is in common, so it's going to sound reasonably okay. Now this chord sounds alright, but we want a good sounding chord, not an alright sounding chord. So we can just shablam, bring that up an octave. This would be the 9th. I don't really know if I want to do that. And we can even throw the 11th in there if we want to get weird. I'm not a fan of that. I kind of want it to go a bit more down. Ooh, I'm here for that. Now chord progressions don't just stop there. Yeah, we have the chords, we've got the progression, but we don't really have anything outside of that. So what I really suggest is you throw some rhythm in there, just spice it up. Like, you don't want your chords to be bland and just bam, 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 hitting on beat. I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll just figure something out. Ooh, that's kind of nice actually. You know, I'm here for it. So I've got like a start to a rhythm with this, carry that kind of same rhythm over. And fun fact, if you have notes that are on off beats, it's gonna make your melody sound way better. It's something, but it kind of feels a little empty at times. It also feels like it's missing some stuff, and I think the rhythm could be better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this whole thing and just slide it over. And let's stretch these. So at this point, you'll want to add in some kind of filler notes, just something that will help transition the chords, because all we got right now is chords. And you can even play off of that tension or just build around what you have with your filler note. Like for example, I could bring the F here that's in this chord. So I'm just gonna copy this over because we kind of have the start to our basic chord progression. Because when you're making chords, it just boils down to adding on to what you have, literally. Now don't get me wrong, the chords sound good, but I would like to add some kind of bass to it just to give it depth. And the beautiful thing about your bass notes is they don't actually have to be the exact same as your root note of the chords. So you could do the 5th here, for example. Sounds pretty good, but I don't have that depth that I want, so I'm just going to actually put my root note down. This is a pretty common thing to do with piano too, where you'll see just like the first of the chord and the fifth of the chord played in the lower scale. I'm thinking that this B might sound better up an octave. So by now, you probably just have a 4-bar pattern. That's okay, because you can still sprinkle in way more notes to get it sounding more varied, more unique. And the beautiful thing about this is your higher octave notes, that's gonna be a little bit more of the flavor. So we can just sprinkle in kind of whatever notes we think sound good here. We've got this first bit, it's fine, it's good. I'm gonna copy it over, but I wanna change it up because I want the flavor for this next bit to just be a little bit different. Maybe even change up this little filler note we added in. I wanna keep that same kind of rhythm still. So we started with these really basic, lame 3-note chords, and we got these super thick, juicy, and delicious. Yo, why do I describe it as food, huh? We got these super thick and delicious, juicy chords, but the battle's not done there. You need to make your chords sound actually good. And what that means is you need to strum the chords. To strum your chords in FL Studio, though, all you need to do is press Alt-S. It opens up the Strumizer. What a stupid name. But even still, if you really want your chords to sound crazy good, go into the tools option here and then press humanize. This is gonna open up the humanize tool. It humanizes stuff, makes it sound a little bit more real. If you're using a piano too, what you wanna do is just bring the velocity down. This is gonna make your piano sound like it's played a lot more soft. And you see these notes where we have it kind of like really far off. What we can do is add in like a little accident note. I don't really know what it's called. If you know, let me know in the comments, please, because I always forget the name. But we can add it right before this chord note. So it's kind of like someone just accidentally pressed the wrong note. And that is legitimately every single thing you need to know to make great and complex chord progression. Yeah.